and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
Okay, on pole position, the man that would love to be national champion in year 1997 from Sydney, Kerry Madsen. On the outside of the front row, it is Garry Brazier. Robbie Farr and Kathy Kelly, row 2, and Peter Murphy and Garry Rush, row 3. Let's send them on their way. Okay, time to warm up those tyres. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your participation. Makes for a great race and sets a magnificent scene for what should be one of the closest Australian sprint car titles ever. Ladies and gentlemen, stand by. Here comes the charge of the V8s for 35 laps, the Australian Grand Final. Front straightaway, Brazier to the outside and Madsen down the inside. It's going to be slick. Brooke Tatnell gets up in company, but Brazier has gone through to take over the lead through turn number 4. Kerry Madsen runs in second, using wide and varied lines. Madsen, then Robbie Farr up into third, followed by Peter Murphy. The next is Brett the Jet Loadsman, but we have the amber lights on because the first casualty of the race so far appears to be Brooke Tatnell. Here they come down the front straightaway. Almost a bang of wheels in that time as Madsen went in on the inside and Brazier on the outside. They bump wheels on the back chute. No one's going to give up as they run up in the top corner. Almost side by side, but Brazier outfoxes him, outballs him on the front straightaway. Brazier now leads it after 1. Madsen is second. Robbie Farr is the next, followed by Peter Murphy. Then back is Kathy Kelly, followed by Brett Loadsman. Garry Rush has gone back 5 or 6 spots. Phil March is in trouble, and Brooke Tatnell was last, now second last. 34 to go. Brazier in front, but we've already had one upside down, was Joel Knott. I think David Anderson was up there amongst them as well. Rao gets back in the spot. Trevor Green doesn't like that at all, so he drops down the inside. There could be a protest later. Wanless waits, so they go around the corner. Okay, Rush gets out in the toolies. That wasn't the best thing to do, but anyway, he gets it back on track again as they go to the bottom corner. They head into the bottom turn now as the championship resumes racing. Brooke Tatnell back in the pack and a long way in arrears. Rush comes in and under John Shaw as they make their way out of the top corner down the front straightaway into the bottom turn. So Brazier's clear. He's skipping to the outside of the racetrack. Madsen's back a fair way. Peter Murphy is third, followed by Robbie Farr. Then it's Kathy Kelly with Brett Loadsman on the inside. Garry Rush is next. Then it's John Shaw on the outside. Paul Lindbergh is the next in line, followed by Bobby Jackson. The order is still Brazier as they come into complete. Almost 4 laps with Brazier clear, and that is out now by about 10 car lengths over Kerry Madsen. It's about a similar number back to Peter Murphy in the Kinser car. Then Robbie Farr running close in station. Brooke Tatnell at the back of the pack, dicing with Skip Jackson. And Brazier will actually put a lap on. Brooke Tatnell's got out in no man's land at the moment. He's going to go down a lap here to Garry Brazier. Now Tatnell sees Brazier. He doesn't like the idea of being lapped by Brazier. Now he brings it up again, so he's going to try and unlap himself if he possibly can. He's very much sideways, Brooke, and Brazier's making big runs here on the outside as they go up into the top corner. He goes really wide as they come down the front straightaway, but Tatnell has no answer to Brazier tonight. He's tried. And Trevor Green down on the inside, about to go down a lap. So Brazier really has got to be very careful here. These guys are still running fast, although they're at the back of the pack. Brazier just pulls her up a notch and goes around the outside of them down the front straightaway. Likes running the outside, but he's learned a Kinser trick or two. You can run 3 laps on the outside and 2 down the inside. That's out to probably 12 or 14 car lengths now. Second spot still held by Madsen as Brazier goes around the slower cars. Coming up now to put a lap on David Anderson. Mick Rowe will be the next on his visiting list. Kerry Madsen still to deal with heavy traffic at this stage of the race, and he's clear of Peter Murphy and Robbie Farr. That's the order. Brett Loadsman, Garry Rush, and then Kathy Kelly followed by Paul Lindbergh, Bobby Jackson, John Shaw and Todd Wanless. That's the order as they rip in turn number 1, now onto the back straightaway. So they have completed 10. Oh, Shaw gets around sideways in the top corner. Skip Jackson. Dearie me, Phil March doesn't miss much. He didn't miss him either. So John Shaw gets the front end torn out of his, and March's car must be built like a Centurion tank because it's been able to continue. Brazier will not hang back. He will go for it. Here he goes now. Stands on it, and Madsen goes with him. Next is Peter Murphy. Making the run around the outside was Russia. I don't know if there's too much there to get hold of, but he's at least going to give her a big try as he comes down the front straightaway. Might be an idea here to sit down the inside. Whoops, they're bicycling from Robbie Farr, and Rush tries to get up the inside of him. I'll tell you the movers in the field. It's Brett Loadsman, strangely enough. Rush had to go there on the inside. That didn't pan out. And Loadsman, who runs this track probably better than most, starts to come up through the field. So Loadsman through the bottom corner. Far falling back into the clutches of Russia. I don't think he's got enough to go on with him. Kathy Kelly is still in there and defying everyone. And Bobby Jackson getting a bit of spurt on as he dives under Paul Lindbergh and gives him a bit of heave-ho. Then it's Todd Wanless and Skip Jackson trying to clear their way through the pack as Rushy works away at the inside here of Robbie Farr. So Rush comes up one more spot in the pack. 3 laps to go. No doubt about who's going to win this championship. They're going to write Brazier's name on a trophy for the 3rd time. That'll make 5 championship wins. 2 to Steve Brazier and 3 to Garry. 2 laps to go. Madsen's still there, but the leader has got well and truly away from him as he heads up on the back straightaway. He'll get the 1 lap to go signal this time around. The white flag will be coming out shortly for Garry Brazier. They missed him that time, I think, as they went to the bottom corner. He heads onto the back straightaway. They'll get the checkered flags ready, and here he comes. Get ready for the firework explosions. Ladies and gentlemen, he's done it! Australian champion, Garry Brazier. 2nd place goes to Kerry Madsen. And 3rd place to Peter Murphy of Sydney. 4th to Loadsman, and 5th to Robbie Farr. Well done, Garry Brazier. Boy, is he happy tonight. Give him a hand. He's ready to entertain you on the half mile or the 3rd.
Magnificent trophy. A kiss to celebrate from Speedway Racing News. Congratulations from the 1965 winner, Bill Warner. Let's hear from the winner, Garry, the unshaven Garry Brazier.
Yeah, I told you this unshaven business is the good stuff to get. But no, firstly, just going on what you said, yeah, I did go back-to-back Australian titles like my father did. But the only reason why he didn't get any more is he had to stop racing to work, to look after our family. And, you know, this is why I'm up here. I'm actually getting all the Australian titles that he missed out on. And let me say this now, we'll win an Australian title next year. But I'd also like to thank all the other drivers and all the fans. Thank you.
And so 24-year-old Garry Brazier wins championship number 3. Trust you enjoyed the 97 title tilt from Parramatta City Raceway.